Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Kayla Reads and my name is Kayla. Today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Accident Season by Moira Fowley Doyle. I'm going to do this review in two parts. The first part is going to be just a general overview and how I felt about the book, and then the second part is going to be discussing more specific events that happened throughout the book and how I felt about them, and it's going to contain spoilers. Once I get to the spoiler part of this review, I will make sure that I let you know so that nobody is spoiled when they don't want to be. If you can't tell by the title, The Accident Season is about a family who every October goes through a accident season where the entire family becomes incredibly accident prone and they're constantly hurting themselves, breaking bones. There are things as little as like just little cuts, and then there are huge accidents that happen throughout this book. The entire family has to spend the entire month of October worried about being as careful as they can, trying to limit the accidents as much as possible, which they don't do a great job of. Alice is the main character's older sister. Kara is the main character. Sam is their ex-stepbrother, and Bay is the best friend. Those are really the main characters that you see the most of throughout the book. I also thought that Bay was a little strange. She was really into like I don't know, she was magical, and it was strange. I don't remember what those things are called that she did, but she did weird stuff. This book was a really quick read for me. It actually only took a few hours after I sat down and got really into it. I had really high expectations for this book. I really liked the premise, and I thought that it was going to be a really incredible read. I did enjoy this book quite a bit. There were some aspects of the book that I didn't enjoy quite so much, but overall it was a really good story and a very interesting premise and a very unique premise. I ended up giving this book a 3.5 star review out of 5. I am very glad that I read this book. This was Moira Fowley Doyle's debut novel. This is the first book that she's written. If I see more that she's published in the future, I think I would pick up more books by Moira Fowley Doyle. The reason that I gave this book such a relatively low rating after having really enjoyed the storyline so much is because I feel like there were really strange relationships between characters in this story that I couldn't quite get past. The imagery and visualizations were really strange to me as well. Overall, it was just a really strange book. It was unique, but to a point where it was distracting. Besides the relationships between the characters being incredibly strange, the characters themselves were actually pretty strange in my opinion as well. They were developed really well, but I had a really hard time relating to any of them because they were so out there. I did find this to be a pretty addicting read. I had a really hard time setting the book down, but I also found myself really just wanting to get to the end. I wanted to know the answers to all the questions that I had throughout this entire book, but I didn't find myself really enjoying the book while getting to the answers. Another issue that I had with this book is that I found myself so annoyed with the decisions that the characters were making. The characters just seemed to make the most irresponsible choices possible in almost every situation, and it was really frustrating for me to read. I'll discuss that a little bit more once I get into the spoilers part of the review. I have rips in my book. Wait. Nope, I don't. They're just creases in the pages. We're okay. I originally picked up this book because I was so in love with the cover. I think that they did a really great job on the cover for this book. I also thought it was going to be a really spooky read for the month of October, which it didn't end up being as spooky as I thought it was going to be, but there were some spooky aspects to it that I really enjoyed. Okay, so that's all that I have for the non-spoiler part of the review. If you haven't read the book and you don't want it to be spoiled, I suggest you switch away from this video now. Are you gone? Did you leave? Leave. You shouldn't be here anymore. Okay, on to the spoilers. This book drove me absolutely crazy in the fact that I didn't know what was going on. I needed to know answers, and she just kept bringing up more questions but not giving me any answers. I was guessing throughout the whole entire book on what a lot of the twists were going to end up being. I kind of knew that Elsie was going to end up having a really big twist around her character, but I didn't know exactly what was happening, and there were so many mysteries in this book that I really did enjoy reading. The concept behind Elsie was really interesting to me throughout this entire book. I didn't really know exactly what was going to happen, but when I actually did find out that it was Alice and Kara's mom's daughter, I wasn't surprised by that. It wasn't something that I was just like astounded to find out, or like my mind was blown. Alice made so many bad decisions in this book, and she drove me crazy, and she never seemed to be careful when she should be careful. She should definitely have been more careful during the accident season. I don't understand why a group of teenagers who are in the middle of this accident season, that they know that they have to be careful, decide to go hang out in a ghost house all by themselves and throw a party in a ghost house, and that decision just seems really irresponsible to me. And it seems kind of hard to believe that a family who knows how dangerous this season is for them would make those kind of decisions, but they did, and it was ridiculous. They lit 100 candles and left them in the master bedroom throughout this entire party where they all got drunk. I was so sure throughout the entire party scene that the whole house was gonna burn down, but it doesn't in that scene. But then Alice goes back and she starts the house on fire, and then she doesn't try to get out of the house. And the fire scene is another scene that I found to have a lot of really weird imagery in it. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but it was just really strange to me, and it made it harder to get into the book because I was distracted by the weird imagery that she was using. Let me just say that I found the relationship between Sam and Kara to be so weird and unnecessary, and I really wish she hadn't added that into this book. I think that the book could have really gone without that strange little relationship. And there's the scene where Kara and Sam go out on this weird walk in the middle of the night, and they come across the river, and it's frozen solid, and it's like not frozen weather outside. It should not be frozen solid. But in the middle of the accident season, where they know that they're going to get hurt, they decide to walk out on the river that's like mysteriously frozen, and big surprise, all of the ice, breaks away, and they are in a horrible situation, and whoever would have saw that coming. I was really sad to find out about the relationships that had happened in the past. I was really sad to find out about what Sam's dad, Christopher, had done to Alice while he was married to their mom. My heart was breaking for Sam as he was learning all of these things about his father. I think that was a really unexpected twist for this book to take. To me, I wasn't expecting that. It was a really sad concept. With as frustrating as Alice's character was to me, she did play a huge role in this book in the fact that she's the first one who kind of questions the accident season and tries to figure out what's going on, and doubts that it's just this month that bad things happen and they can't do anything to avoid it. And that's a huge part of this book. I like Alice's character for having created that kind of question. All in all, I really did enjoy this book. I know that I had a lot of negative things to say about it. I think that it could have been written a little bit better, but I did enjoy the premise. I enjoyed the storyline. I think that it was interesting and unique and a really, really incredible debut novel. And I would recommend that anybody else read it if it's a premise that sounds interesting to you. And that is really all I have to say about this book. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be uploading more videos pretty regularly. My next video is going to be my November TBR. I will probably have that posted sometime here in the next few days. Thank you so much for watching my first review video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!